We're going to break down pronunciation into two categories with the knowledge that these are going to influence one another and that they're not actually very discrete. They are sort of like constantly feeding back on one another and providing us with a sense of the sound that is really highly complex, okay? But what we can think is that there are going to be changes to pronunciation that we can make to consonants and changes that we can make to vowels. So we're going to be talking about consonant change as a function of sort of pronunciation, listening to see if we can hear a difference between dull and sharp consonants. Okay? So the way we'll hear this is listening for example, an S sound. I'm going to start with a more dull S. Su, so, so, su. Now you can hear the pronunciation is tending to be a little bit different than usual. I'm still quite small, and I'm still quite light, but this S is now a little bit duller. And I'm doing it to change sort of like the shape of my tongue, how my tongue is sort of like interacting with the structures in the front of my mouth. Su, say, sigh, so, su. And now as I start to shift towards a sharper consonant, you're going to hear the S shift more. Si, say, sigh, so, su. Si, say, sigh, so, su. So you can hear that S is suddenly much more sharp. It really sticks out of the texture a little bit more. Si, say, sigh, so, su.
This is maybe even more apparent if I start with a like heavier, larger sound, and I start to with like an intentionally masculine quality, and I use this S, and I go like si, say, si, so, su. This S is getting really garbled. It doesn't really even sound very distinct as like an S sound, and that's kind of a marker of masculine speech, is that the S is, along with all the other consonants, tends to be a little bit less distinctly articulated. So we can hear that pronunciation is a little bit muddier, it's a little less clear, and in general, masculine voices exhibit this kind of lack of clarity in pronunciation, and that's kind of like the effortless quality that is masculinity in pronunciation, right? So as I start to shift here, you're going to hear the S alter and get a sharper, more distinct sound, and I'm still going to be large and heavy, and I want you to see what kind of impact that has on the overall sound quality and how you would gender this voice, right? So right now I've been kind of speaking with this duller consonant articulation, and therefore also a sort of more masculine overall pronunciation of consonants and vowels, because it's really difficult to articulate or pronounce, to make changes to pronunciation that are going to impact the perception of the consonant, but not the perception of the vowel. So they're all kind of coming along for the ride. But right now I'm going to start to alter the sound so that the consonants are going to sharpen up. So you're going to hear, instead of this like dull S, si, say, si, so, su, you're going to hear si, say, si, so, su. And what happens is that as soon as you start to hear that shift in articulation, that shift in pronunciation, you can hear those consonants are really sharp and they're sticking out of the texture predominantly pretty strongly. This lets us hear these changes in pronunciation really clearly, because there's a huge mismatch between my vocal personality and my body implying features. So if I start to speak here with these same sharp articulations, sharp pronunciations of these consonant sounds, what you will hear is that it sounds more feminine. But because of this mismatch between my body implying features and my personality implying features, it ends up sounding like a very effeminate man. So if I start there and then scale these other features to match and go
see. So now I'm using the same sort of pronunciation, the same sort of patterns, that same really sharp S and T are going to come through the texture. But now that the overall size and weight and the other body implying features are all kind of in line with this perception of the voice as a more feminine voice, suddenly it just kind of reinforces the end sound, right? So we can hear the quality that we're searching for is a really sharp change to consonants and and that we'll have a similar change to the vowel sound.